Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're continuing our talk on 8.4, and this is going to be 8.4.2. We're going to be talking about finding a theoretical probability again. In this case, we're going to be talking about how to do it using the idea of geometric figures or something that's not quite as standard. It's the same thought process though. So what we're looking at here is the radius of the bullseye is 2 inches. That means here's my bullseye, so its radius from the dead center to the edge is 2 inches. The thickness of each ring is also 2 inches, so here's 2 inches, here's 2 inches, there's 2 inches, here's 2 inches. An arrow is equally likely to hit anywhere on the target, meaning if we shoot it, it can hit anywhere on there. What is the probability it hits the bullseye? By the way, this is how we calculated that the idea of hitting a bullseye is actually extremely hard, and it takes skill to do so. We take what is the probability that you can. So let's take a look at how they do that. What we want is we want to take the probability that the arrow hits bullseye. I'm going to abbreviate here, just ease. Really, I kind of don't want to write all that much right now. Now, the area of the bullseye is how much? Well, the area of this circle, area of a circle equals pi r squared. Our radius is 2, so the area of the small circle is going to be area of 2 squared. Well, 2 squared is 4, so 4 pi. I'm going to leave my answer in terms of pi, and you'll see why hopefully here in a minute, because we got to divide that. I almost said delete. We need to delete this by the area, or divide that. Wow, I did say delete it. We need to divide it by the area of the whole circle. In other words, we're finding out how much of a percent this circle or bullseye makes of the entire target. Well, again, we're still using area equals pi r squared, but in this case, our radius gets much larger. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have 10 squared pi, which is 100 pi. Well, here's the nice thing. Remember, any number or any fraction that contains a factor or like factors in the numerator and denominator. Let me get this right. Back up a second. Any fraction that contains the same factor in the numerator and denominator, those factors will cancel. We no longer have to worry about that pi. That's why we went ahead and kept it, because we're going to eventually have to not worry about it. So that means this is equal to 4 out of 100. Well, that means if I'm doing the simplification because these are even by 2, that means I'm 2 over 50, and I'm still even, so that means I divide each one by 2 again. I get 1 over 25. So we have a 1 in 25 chance of hitting a bullseye that has a radius of 2 inches, whose target has 1, 2, 3, 4 additional rings at 2 inches each. Or, if you really want to get down to it, there's a 4% chance. It's not very likely. Also, most targets have an area less than that for their bullseye. So you can start saying a 4% chance is not very good. Again, this is the answer I want you to go ahead and write, because I can figure 4%. If you want to write 4%, you're also not going to be wrong. With that, make sure you're taking notes. Write down any questions that you have and bring them in tomorrow. You can go ahead and start working on 8.4.2 problems. I suggest doing that whether you feel like you get this or not. Just see where you're at. You can redo the problems. When you come in, we'll be able to see exactly which problems you struggled with. We'll be able to work directly on those, get a better understanding. Remember, it's about getting the understanding, not the answer. Let's work towards that. We'll see you in class.